What's that, wand? You want me to read the forbidden chapter in my spell book? Well, okay. I don't see anything wrong going with this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review. Oh, well, my name's Fox, and I tell David Fox, and welcome to another Night Stars the Pulse of the Viva review. And this episode's name, I know it. The episode's name of this is called
The Hardway. And
it's an awesome episode. I totally knew. What do you mean dubbed in? Are you insane? No. I'm an idiot. Alright, so Star Wars: The Force of Evil. Newest episode. Or the newest one so far, at least. I don't know if another one's going to come out tomorrow or whatnot. It wouldn't be too surprising if this is the last one for the Star Bomb, but who the heck knows. But, spoiler alerts for this episode. Toffee's back! Or at least he is while Ludo's looking at the book. I don't know. Anyways, quick synopsis. Basically, Ludo is at his new base, the temple that we saw a little bit from the episode where Star looked in at Glossaric. And Ludo goes to Glossaric and says, "Teach me how to use the wand." And Glossaric goes, "Okay." But Ludo says, what is it? Ludo says, "Is it going to be hard and treacherous and all this stuff?" And Glossaric's like, "Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure, if you want it to be." So what happens is, he has a giant, it's like a montage. I think it's like a mini montage of, of Ludo doing all these tasks for Glossary, like carrying the book on his back like he's freaking Luke and stuff like that. And then, to the point where he's just freaking tired, he's like, "When can we start learning spells?" And Glossary's just like, "Well, we start learning spells right now. You just said you wanted it the hard way. You wanted to do it the hard way." He's like, "I don't know what I want." And basically the quick little, I guess, character development for Ludo is that he never had family, I guess. I guess that's the gist of it. He never had anyone teach him anything. He had to learn everything by himself and so on. Which he built a giant monster arm. He built a monster army by himself. Yeah, they're incompetent and dumb. But he did build a monster army by himself, apparently from nothing, so that's not a really small feat. That's actually pretty, awesome. Hold on. Yeah, my freaking... Did I put the gain up? Yeah, I don't know. It looks like I'm quiet on the thing, so I don't know how that's sounding. Hopefully it sounds fine. But, so Ludo basically then starts Glossaric then says, "Alright, let's start your training." So they're using the wand, because Glossaric's just like, or Glossaric says that, he does not, literally Glossaric is, "This is my job, I'm just gonna do it. That's it. This is my job, that's it. I don't care about you, I don't care if you have the wand, I don't care if you destroy the planet. This is just my job, and you do with what you want when after done teaching you." So Glossaric then teaches Ludo, tries to teach Ludo how to use one spell, a levitation spell, which I really do like this episode for the point that just like how we had a couple episodes ago, we had Star being evaluated on magic, and then right after that, we had to start being evaluated in magic, and the last test of it was for her to bring an apple from one side of the room to the other. And Star technically couldn't really do it till the end, and that's actually the first test for this spell, the levitation spell. Though I do want to say, I think there's a disconnect between what was on the sheet of paper, what the voice actor for Glossaric was reading, and what was in the cartoon. Because in the cartoon, Glossaric says, when he brings up this part of the book, he goes, "Notice the stance and the position of the wand." And I looked at that book, I looked at that page, multiple times, like 4 to 5 times, I went back and I paused it and like re-looked over those pages. There's nothing about stance. There's no picture of someone holding a wand out or anything. It's just a crystal and something being moved. That's it. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. A little bit of continuity flummox, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so honestly, Ludo tried to use the spell, keeps effing up. Whenever he gets angry, shoots a beam blast. But then Glossary says, use this spell like that. Say it like this. And go out, and Ludo uses that, says it, and then actually opens the door, not opens the door, uses his spell, and picks up the apple and brings it over to Glossary. And watching that, I'm kind of like, this is terrifying. Because one, I kind of was thinking, okay, maybe Ludo won't be able to use the same spells as Star or something like that. Because, I was thinking like, okay, because Ludo's spells seem to be focused around, anger and hate. And I don't know about hate, but anger at least. So I didn't think, okay, maybe he won't be able to use the spells unless he's like angry. In that case, he won't really be able to use any. But no, he freaking levitated the apple. I'm like, that's like, that in and of itself is like terrifying to think of. Like, oh fudge, he can actually wield the power, can't he? But then there's an entire like montage. Like it's like a redo of the beginning montage, except it's Ludo like levitato, picking up the book, moving around, floating on top of it, and basically uses all of that stuff. And also he, I forgot to mention, they actually do drop like a little bit of knowledge on like Star spells, saying like Ludo asks, when am I gonna learn a Narwhal Blast? That's a terrible Ludo voice. And Glossary goes, oh, that's not really in the book. That Star made that up. Star made that up. It's her own thing. And then that kind of makes sense in a sense. I'm like, okay, in a sense. That some spells is only her. She has made her own spells already, which is actually kind of cool. So that means then that it's not like she did read that from the book or whatever. She did. There are abilities to create your own spells, but then that also kind of begs the question, like, I'm trying to think, like, if magic can be just, the Philosopher's Stone, basically at that point. No one knows what the Philosopher's Stone is. A little stone that lets you do basically whatever the fudge you want. At least in Full Metal Alchemist 1, I believe in the mythology it's similar to that. They say that you can use it to turn lead into gold. But anyways, not really off topic, but still. If you can make your own spells, how exactly is that done? I kind of wonder. Because I can understand, you're able to manipulate the magic or whatever stuff, but... Sorry. If Star used her wand, and let's say he's like, I want to make a spell that blows up the moon. Can she just imagine a spell and just go, Moonis Blocus, and just blow up the moon? Or is there a limit to this? The limit, maybe it's the intake of magic she can use towards it. I don't know. But anyways, I keep saying anyways so many times. Someone could put a counter on this thing. But yeah, it's actually kind of cool seeing all this. And also throughout this, Ludo tells Glossary, say you're proud of me, or something like that. And then even towards the closer to the end of the episode, when after the montage or whatever, when he's being tucked in for bed or whatever, he tells Glossary to tuck him in, and then also to say, can you say I'm proud of you, my darling, or something like that. And I'm just he kind of reminds me almost exactly of Stewie from Family Guy, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I really don't, because if they do Stewie a lot better, that's actually not that bad. But so Glossary's like, I love Glossary, just like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. And he's just mumbling under his voice, good night, my darling. But then of course Ludo starts talking to his wand, and he goes, what? What do you mean Glossary covered a chapter that didn't tell me? Well, I want to go see it. He goes, tells Glossary to show him the page, and he says, did you show Star a chapter you didn't show me? And I don't know why that's doing that accent, but does he have kind of a British accent? I don't really remember. But Glossary's like, well, it's kind of advanced, and Star, I didn't really show Star, so she... Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit tired. she checked it out herself, and he's like, well, show me. And he's like, are you sure? You may be tainted. And he goes, show me. Opens the book. He goes, oh, I thought there'd be more pictures. Which I guess now, in hindsight, it kind of was cool. Like them showing that Marco turning evil because of the book at that one point, I guess kind of shows like, okay, this book can apparently taint you, or at least this chapter can. But then I still think that was kind of bad foreshadowing that Marco may turn evil. And also, even then, like, at the end after that, Marco's, fine. He's not still tainted evil, which then, now that I think about it, kind of takes away a little bit of the reveal at the end. But even then, like, I saw, like, because YouTube, I guess, likes to put clips up there of Star Versus, and they say, like, the clip of this happening, or Toffee coming back, and I'm just like, oh, gee, thank you for that. But even then, like, certain things I do like that, like, even if you know it's coming, when you see it, it still gives you goosebumps, it still gives you chills, like, what the fuck? Like, that, I actually do like things like that. BioShock Infinite is probably a good way of saying that. Like, whenever I replay that game and I beat it, even though, yeah, the playability is kind of, the same, just doing the same thing, sadly. But, the ending, whenever the ending comes up, I still get the goosebumps. I'm just like, oh my god. And the thing is, I knew kind of the ending of it, but not exactly all of it. But even when I'm seeing it again, I'm like, oh crap. So it is kind of a difference between knowing it's coming and then seeing it happen. But the book taints Ludo and brings out Toffee from the wand. Inside Ludo, he goes, hello, Glossaric. And he goes saying, you won't be able to turn him to your side. I do like that part because then Glossaric goes, I don't have a side. And he goes, you don't, do you? And I'm just like, fudge, yes. Yes. I love, one, that Toffee is coming back, even though I think everyone who's at least thought about it has kind of guessed, yeah, the voice in Ludo's wand, that's Toffee. Like, you can even see a couple of my theory videos beforehand. Yeah, that's most likely Toffee. And yeah, it is. Sorry. It's Toffee, and that's really cool to see. You don't have a side, do you? I forgot what exactly he said, but I think I forgot exactly what he said, but I think Toffee said that he's gonna basically learn the spells or whatever. I don't remember. I could be completely forgetting that part, but it would make sense. But then again, also, it might backtrack a little bit, if only because this impact might backtrack a little bit, if only because we've seen this happen with Marco. Like what? I would say 7 episodes ago. 7 at least, yeah, episodes ago. 7 episodes ago, we saw, or even more actually, but we saw this happen to Marco. He turned evil, floating out and and then episode right after that, completely forgotten or just, not really brought up again. Which I guess Adventure Time has done something similar to that, and having things that like this happens, but in the next episode really doesn't bring it up ever again. But this, on the other hand, this is a major point. We now know, at least from Marco's thing, we know from both Marco and Ludo that this book corrupts those who watches it. Which I guess it is showing that Star isn't affected by this. For whatever reason, Star is not affected by the dark magic of her aunt or grandmother. But we also now know, which one is kind of like the mystery, like, okay, why isn't Star affected? But on the flip side of that, we know Marco and Ludo are affected, but also now know that because Marco goes back from being, from the demon himself back to being Marco, we now know that most likely this isn't permanent. This transformation isn't permanent. Maybe it'll be that Toffee's going to have to try to figure out a way to regenerate himself, which would actually be kind of cool if, now that I think about it, would it happen, like, if he regenerates himself now, would his hand form over the crystal and, like, the star piece be stuck in his hand? And also, like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go right now and already assume what's gonna happen. Toffee, possessing Ludo, is probably going to break into Star's house or whatever, break into her room, grab his finger, and then by using his finger and a regeneration spell or something like that, he's going to regenerate himself. Regenerate his body, and wielding the wand will heal himself. And basically bring him back to being who he is, Toffee, and of course having his finger back. I'm going to go ahead and assume that is what's going to happen. And also, like, there's an animation. It's a theory / animation that someone did. That, like, Toffee cut off his finger so he could regenerate from it. And in a sense, it is kind of right, but they did it in a different way. But I believe this is how it's going to happen. He's going to look at a spell in the book that's going to be able to regenerate. He's going to regenerate into Toffee, and then he's going to go to that crystal dimension and release the Dark Queen or whatever. But then again, I'm still trying to figure out how Star's wand works. But anyway, it's still pretty good. And also, I'm trying to think. The episode is pretty awesome. It's pretty good, and I really do like this. I do like the Toffee coming back in like this form, like just hearing his voice coming out of Ludo. I do like that that Ludo actually can wield higher spells. Oh, well, he can at least wield a beginner spell, a pre-beginner spell, but that doesn't mean that he can use spells from the book. And I do like what Glosser said when Ludo says, "Am I better than Star?" And he goes, Glosser goes, "Well, you're better at Star following the book, I guess." But even then, that's kind of a question. Like, is it better to just do it by yourself, or is it better to do it by the book? I prefer the by yourself one, if only because Star is able to make her own spells, which technically probably can't be countered if she can learn how to do it well and craft her own new spells from it. Trying to think. Star versus. But the episode was pretty awesome. I really love it. And also, I've seen like a couple comments, not bad ones, but like they say, like this is not really representing the episode of it, but more the past episodes. But like Marco saying, Marco still acts like a 16-year-old, and he hasn't told Jackie anything yet. Mind you, I'm not saying anything bad about anyone who commented this, but unless there's some episodes I haven't seen today, I think I'm running out of. Oh, I have 4 minutes yet. But unless there's something I've missed, Marco seems to be acting like his usual self, but it's still him. But I don't know. I'll bring up more in another episode. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you want to share more videos that I've done, please go to the link description below. Please share all other videos. If you want to share more videos I've done, link there, and I think the subscribe button there, or maybe it's there. I don't know. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Share all my videos. Check out some of my Style vs. Theory videos. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later. Not my best, people laugh, but what are you gonna do?